What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to talk about mobile homes, manufactured homes, and modular homes. I'm going to talk about what's different about them, what's the same thing about them, the pros, the cons, which one you should buy, which one you should not buy.
You're going to tell us everything.
So the first thing we're going to discuss is they are all prefabricated homes built in a warehouse. So a mobile home and a manufactured home is basically the same thing. The only difference is a mobile home was built before 1976 and a manufactured home was built after 1976. Mobile homes became popular in the 1900s. It was an easy way for families to relocate for work, but still provide a stable home for their families.
Hard-working young man.
They were similar to campers and trailers, but they are not the same thing as campers and trailers. But you could move them and relocate them easily by hooking it up to a hitch and moving it down the street. Now, mobile homes are not made anymore because they do not meet the standards of the National Mobile Home Association. The next thing they started building after the mobile home was the manufactured home. And it kind of took the place of the mobile home, but it didn't. And the difference between the two is this: manufactured homes are built in a climate-controlled warehouse, and they have to follow the HUD rule or HUD code. And they're typically either made as a single wide, a double wide, or a triple wide manufactured home. A manufactured home can be relocated if it has a pier and a beam by a manufactured specialist, which means it can be picked up and moved to a different location. Also, a manufactured home can be placed on a permanent foundation, crawl space, or basement. The next thing I talk about is a modular home. So modular homes are like manufactured homes. They are built inside of a warehouse in a climate-controlled area.
It's warm. It's cozy.
Typically, the modular home is built in pieces and then transported to the area where it's placed on a permanent foundation, crawl space, or basement. Now, with a modular home, once it's placed on its foundation, typically it is not moved.
Do not move.
Now, of course, like a stick-built home, it could probably be moved, something you may not want to do, but I'll leave that up to you if you do buy one. Now, with a modular home, unlike the manufactured home, which follows a HUD rule, a modular home has to follow all applicable state and local building codes. And this is similar to the way stick-built homes are constructed. And with modular homes, like I stated a few minutes ago, they have to follow the state, city, and local town rules and codes. For instance, in North Carolina and South Carolina, sometimes they will require a certain roof pitch, an overhang length, and has some foundation wall requirements. Once a modular home is assembled, it typically resembles a stick-built home.
I can't tell them apart.
And they can be one-story and two-story modular homes. Now let's get into the cost of a mobile and manufactured home. So they're typically less expensive than your traditional stick-built home. Traditionally, usually modular or mobile homes are cheaper than stick-built homes because they're built in a warehouse. Structure seems to be a lot cheaper that way. And also, with a stick-built home, you're out in the weather, which could affect and slow you down when building a home. When, of course, built in a factory, there's no slowdown unless you're short employees or something like that. So if you're thinking of financing a manufactured or mobile home, that's where the difference comes in between these two. So with a manufactured home, it can be a little challenging when you're talking to a lender or a mortgage company.
She's not for sale.
And that is because generally a manufactured home will depreciate in value than a modular home would. With a modular home, you can get financing for it, and it's considered like a stick-built home where it does not depreciate in value typically.
This is the best news ever.
So the big question is, why do they depreciate in value, manufactured homes? And there really is no data to show why. Typically people think they depreciate in value because you can move them. Like a car can depreciate in value, so can a manufactured home, because typically you can pick it up and move it. So it's a little harder for lending companies and mortgage companies to have to foreclose on you if that was to happen, because you technically can pick it up and move it. When with a modular home, it's typically set on a permanent foundation and it will not be moved. Now, not to scare you away from buying a manufactured home, if that's something you want to do and you like, then please do what makes you happy. Just be aware that it may not appreciate in value. But I looked at some data, and according to some data in Michigan, this data looked at about 185 manufactured homes, and they showed that the value of the manufactured home in this little area increased by $26 a year. So take that data with you with a grain of salt. So it's going to be up to you how you feel about it and what you may do next. If you enjoyed this video, please check out this video right here where I talk about financing for a modular or mobile home in North Carolina. And this other video YouTube recommends for you. See you guys in the next video.